Donald Trump, you're asking Americans to trust you with their future.
Buried alive. Buried alive.
What's going on, everybody? This is Holy Joe Rock and Roll, and this is In the News. The last couple of weeks, the pundits, the talking heads, have said that Trump had a couple of bad weeks and that the polls are starting to reflect that, or have been reflecting that, and that Hillary is in the lead in some of the key battleground states. There is a lot of information to suggest that these polls are biased and can't really be trusted because the distribution of the sample skewed heavily towards Democrats rather than being, say, 50-50, something like that. Now, having said that, let's look at one of the so-called unforced errors that Trump made. During the DNC convention, Khan viciously attacked Donald Trump, asking if you've read the Constitution. Now, Khan is the father, a Pakistani American Muslim father of a guy, his son, who died in combat, either in Afghanistan or Iraq. I'm not sure which one. Anyways, they're called Gold Star families. Now, we all respect the sacrifice that the son has made, but don't want none, don't start none. You attacked Donald Trump, and all he did was tweet back, why couldn't the wife, his mother, have spoken, right? Of course, it was a little bit of a jab that the wife, who was wearing the freaking Pakistani head covering, in, the traditional head covering, not quite the full burqa beekeeper suit, but it was a jab at saying, why didn't your wife speak? You Muslims, you can't let your wife speak? The women can't speak, right? That was the jab back. And the media blew that up, made that into an issue. It's not an issue. Don't want none, don't start none, right? Now, I wanted to run some facts, or did some research on it. Since the founding of the Medal of Honor, this is the highest honor that any military person can get in combat. There have been 3,471 Medal of Honors issued since the late 1800s when they started this. How many Muslims have gotten the Medal of Honor? The highest honor for bravery, for sacrifice. Only 4. Only 4. Compare that to the Jews. I think it's 28. 28 from the Jews, okay? Jews have been a hell of a lot more heroic than Muslims in our country. Now, it is true that Muslims have been historically a very small proportion of the population. But let's compare that to African Americans. Do you know that 90 Medal of Honors have gone out to 89 African Americans? Yeah, I said 89 black men got 90 medals. That's because an African American man is the only person in the history of the Medal of Honor who got 2 mother effing Medal of Honors. 2! Imagine that. Imagine being such a badass that you got 2 mother effing Medal of Honors. That's a badass, okay? Now, if Muslims like Khan want to step up and prove that they're American, prove that they are willing to sacrifice for this country, I'm all for that. Let's see that. But we're not really seeing that. Muslims' participation in the military as a percentage of the population, of their population, even compared to Jews. Jews is a very low percentage of their population. Say 3% of the population are Jews. 3% of the military is not Jewish. That I can tell you. 12% of Congress is Jewish. Overrepresentation. We can talk about that later. But certainly, Muslims aren't stepping up when it comes to joining the armed forces. Now, is that a cultural issue? Is that religious bias? Religious, not wanting to serve because of whatever? Who knows? But that is a question to be asked, right? Why can't we ask the question? Now, again, the sacrifice of the son is a big one. And it's obviously, you lose a child, it's a big thing. And we, we celebrate, we honor the Khan family for their sacrifice, the sacrifice of their son. Right? But if you want to attack Trump asking,
have you even read the United States Constitution?
where'd that even come from? Are you referring to the ban on Muslims? It is constitutional. The president can restrict immigration from any people's, countries, whatever that he believes to protect the country. Protect the country. That's the president's job, is to enforce the laws and to protect and defend the Constitution of the United States. So if any group, we banned communists from coming into the United States. We banned communists. Do you remember that during the Cold War? Now, Trump gave a national security speech since then, and it was badass, talking about how we would go after ISIS, how we would have a new foreign policy, forget about this nation-building bullshit, destroy ISIS, and it makes a lot of sense. That's what we got to do. That's just what we got to do, right? If you are in favor of Hillary, nothing's going to change. So this whole Wrath of Khan bullshit is just really political. It's all political. Trump said nothing wrong. He really didn't do anything wrong. He just simply punched back. Now, you could say, was it insensitive? Not really. He didn't say anything he didn't say anything to harm or to make fun of the sacrifice. He just punched back. I don't know why that's a problem. But apparently it is for some double standard, DNC, liberal, sucking media who turn anything that Trump says, try to turn it into a controversy, try to turn it into a problem that it's not. That's In the News. I'm going to hold you rock and roll. Remember to make it happen for the captain, because you're the captain.
It's time for real change. DJ Trump is changing the